more, buddy. Welcome to the channel. Today's video will be all about how I created a way to self-induce hallucinations. Now, I know I mentioned this before in one of my first videos that I posted on this channel, which was about how to self-induce hallucinations. And I mentioned in that video how I said that if anybody were to ask me and how I came about doing it, I would make a video. Thank you very much, Channy, for bringing this up, because I actually did want to make a video for the longest time now, and I guess I didn't really go for it until now. So anyways, merci beaucoup. So back in 1996, 1997, I was about maybe 11 or 12 years old, and I was in my room staring at the ceiling light, imagining if I'd be able to recreate the same effect that you could make when you look at a light bulb or a light source, any light source, and when you close your eyes and you can see the residual image where it's all like red and green or whatever, and if you open your eyes you can see like all over the walls or the objects or whatever. So I wondered if it would be possible to recreate that effect, and so I went about and the first time I tried it, I actually got it like down pat. So I was like, sweet, this is awesome. What can I do with this? So for the next 30 minutes to an hour or so, I was just doing that the whole time. And then I dropped it for about many years. So maybe 10 years I stopped doing it. And then when just before 2006, so 2006, 2007, I had completely forgot about it. And then in 2006, I was hospitalized because I did shrooms one too many times, and it pushed my bipolar schizophrenia to the edge. And for the whole year, almost the entire year, I was tripping balls, like hearing voices, again hallucinations, but not the same hallucinations as what this thing does. When I'm talking about hallucinations with the mushrooms and the bipolar shit, it was scary. Like it wasn't scary at all, but it was crazy. But the effects that were going on during that time, like not necessarily hallucinations, but like everything that came with the whole bipolar schizophrenia stuff. Anyways, that's for another story. I'll leave that a go. So anyway, so during that time in 2006, I thought about if it'd be possible to create light where there's like literally no light sources at all. And I thought to myself that because, light, the light source, or God's light, created all the universe, right? So I figured if I were to be able to recreate that effect, maybe I'll be able to create life as well, because everything was created from light. That's my gist, my thinking there. And God said let there be light, and there was light. There you go. That's right there. So so for a while, again it was during the same trip that I was on, the bipolar schizophrenia trip, and I found out that it is possible to do the whole light thing. Not necessarily the creating life or whatever, but creating light with just your imagination, right? Like I can close my, like right now I'm picturing a light bulb right there. I'm turning it off and then on, off and on, off and on. I can do that, as if it's like anything, like nothing. So, but I'm doing it for many years now. Actually, it's been a while since I actually got into it, but I do it every once in a while. Anyway, so back to the story. So when that was going on, I thought about getting further with it. So I would go to I'd go to the park. I'd go to the park at like all hours of the day, all hours of the night, like even like in the middle of midnight, 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. I'd be at the park, and I'd just be chilling there on the bench, and looking at the sky and just doing it. And the effects that came with how far I got into it, holy crap, man, it was incredible. Like at one point I think I mentioned this in one of my videos about the whole vortexes, the rainbow colored vortexes all around, right? I'm pretty sure I mentioned that in one of my videos. But there were like so much other stuff that happened where at one point I'm seeing giants. And when I say giants, I'm talking about like maybe like 10 times the size of the CN Tower. And they're all like it was just one giant, but like a giant spider, a giant person coming out of the wall of the lake, a giant person walking on like over the city that I was in. Like its leg was like crossing over us like that, right? And the giant spider was his its one of its legs was like right in front of me, right? Like right in front of me. I'm looking at it like, holy shit, this is awesome. Anyway, so I go for like long walks for like for hours on end and just doing this. And but yeah, so anyway, so I got that down and everything. And then by the time even now, well, one thing I gotta mention this about the whole creation of light and life and everything. In when was I think it was in 2000 and maybe 2012 2013, which was about what like maybe 7 or 8 years after the creating the light, the whole initial not the back in 1996 1997, but I'm talking about the in 2000 and it either happened in 2012 or 2013. I can't remember. Anyways, so I was sleeping in my room in my bed. It must be like 2 3 o'clock in the morning, and I heard a meow. So I wake up. Like, where the hell's that coming from? And then I looked down to where a bare spot on my bed was, and I'm looking at what was there, and the light finally brightened up for me to see what was going on, and I'm looking at it, and there was this black kitten, a small little black kitten like this big, right, on my bed. Now you gotta remember, you gotta know, I lived in my attic at that time, and I was this is like after like way after the time I started doing the whole hallucination thing, like the actual, I mean, not the initial phase, but the in 2000, 2006, 2007. Yeah, what I meant before was like 2006, 2007. 1996, 97 was the initial thing, but in 2006, 2007 was the whole full blown out thing or whatever with the whole hallucination thing. Anyway, so the cat was there, and it's looking at me. It meowed, jumped off the bed, and ran right through the wall of my room. I'm looking at where he disappeared. I'm like, how the hell did that happen? What the hell's going on? So I went back to sleep, and a few hours later, I wake up again, and I look at where the cat was on my bed. There was cat food, half-eaten cat food, on my bed where the cat was. I was like, holy shit, what the hell's going on? So I think I actually was able to create. I was able to create life out of the whole light thing. So, bam, put that up on one. Anyway, so a lot of stuff like that happened. A lot of stuff like that happened. So if you're watching this far, dude, if you get this down pat, the whole hallucination thing, you're gonna love it. Another thing that I should mention, that when I was in 2000 and maybe 2009 2010, I was living in the back room of the house, and I had an opening, a door that went to the outside of the backyard. And this is when I started to. This is when I was smoking. I don't smoke weed, but I'm talking about like cigarettes. So I smoke cigarettes all the time. And I was at the back. I was at the back door, and I'm there. Wait, was this when I was smoking? I'm probably thinking of a different time that I went to the back door. I'll mention them both. So anyway, okay, I'll go with the cigarette one. So I was there smoking my cigarette outside on the back porch, and wait, no, this is the chi thing. This is the chi thing. Can't forget of it. I won't go to the chi thing. I'll go back to the other one that I mentioned, the hallucination one. So I was again around the same time as the whole smoking thing, whatever. I was in the back. I was in the back porch, and I was chilling on the chair at the table, and I'm looking at the sea. I'm not seeing, at the sky, and I'm doing the hallucination thing. And then as I'm looking at it, I imagine a mug, like, with a handle. So I'm using that as like a starter image. And I'm looking at it, and I'm turning it around in circles, or around the other way, tilting it as many ways as I can. And then at one point, I held the mug up, like, way up in the sky, and out of nowhere, this green blob just oozes out of the cup, the mug, and it falls. I think I mentioned this on one of my videos. Now I think about it. Whatever. I'll continue with it. So, anyways, so I'm looking at the where the green thing was, the green ooze was, and I'm looking down, and then I turn to my left, and there is a web, like, right over here, like, right in front of my face over here. I'm looking at it like this, right? I'm like, holy shit, what the hell's going on? And there was a golden spider, like, literally this big, right on the web. And I'm looking, I'm like, holy shit, what the hell's going on? And it just slowly disintegrated and vanished. The whole spider, the web, whatever came with it was all gone. And then I'm looking, I'm like, holy shit, what was all that about? And then I look down at the ground, and then I look back up, and then I'm looking in this general direction over here, right? And out of nowhere, the web starts to reform itself, right? But in puzzle pieces. So there's a piece here, and it's just coming up like so fast. So I'm looking at it. There's no spider at this time, so I'm looking at it, and I actually went to go touch it. And when I put my finger through it, I could actually feel the tension and everything on the web. So I'm pulling it back, and it's pulling back with my finger, and then it snaps, and what the web started to crawl or grow from my finger, my hand, my arm, my elbow, my shoulder, my whole body. I was like, dude, this is awesome. Just like in the Matrix, man. Just like in the Matrix when he takes the pill. When he takes the red pill and they go into the he looks at the mirror, and the mirror is all shattered, right? And then it fixes itself and it repairs itself. And he looks at it and he points his finger at it and it pulls back. And the exact same happened to me. I was like, dude, this is awesome. Anyway, so nowadays I'm not necessarily doing it as often, but I am a lot more further than I was ever before. I don't go on walks anymore to do it, mainly because I'm way too scared to do it in front of like for the past little while now. I've been trying to get cars to crash into my objects, right? But I don't want to do that anymore because what's been going on. So I figure, don't do that. So I just look in the sky now. From now, I just look in the sky, and I create my images in the sky. But again, like, that's how it all started out, right? Looking at the sky, like, the sky is the greatest canvas of all. So use it, right? It's there for you. And on that note, again, when you do it at the sky, you do it at night. If you're just a beginner, do it at night, not in the morning, or not in the daytime, because it's so hard. It is so hard to get light on light. And light on darkness is probably the best way to do it, because you can actually see your images that way you do. So yeah, I guess that's it. Yeah, if you have any questions or anything you want a little bit more, send me a comment and I'll check you out. So on that note, you all take care, so have fun, and as always, later, everybody.